What's going on, my people? How y'all doing? This is your day one, Just Mellow. And today I want to talk about why you should take a break from sex after you done had some real good sex that went nowhere. Period. Ladies, this is mainly for you, but the fellas, if you know you don't get a lot of coochie, this is for you too. So, why you should abstain from sex for a while after you have some real good sex is to bring your sex drive back down to a regular level, a level that you can handle. Because you know when you have good sex with somebody, it drives down your tolerance. You know, like you have a very, I want to say, low tolerance for sex. Like sex just rules you. You know, like it just rules you. Like, you know, next thing you know, it's supposed to be on page 4 or 5 in your mind. It's on page 1. You know, like now you really want to know, like, you know, how good this person is in bed when you ain't even witnessed what type of fruit this person is producing. Fruit is the foundation of something positive. You know, like what is the fruit of it all? You know, I don't know if y'all ever watched that movie Heat, right? When Vincent, he ran into that little white lady. And, you know, Vincent was a cold motherfucker in Heat, right? He ran into that white lady and invited her into his life, knowing that he was taught, you know what I'm saying, to drop any and everything within 30 seconds if he sees the heat coming around the corner. Still invited that lady in his life. So she finds out that, you know, Vince is a murderer. Vince is a bank robber. Vince ain't nothing that, my bad, Neil. His name is Neil. My bad. Neil is a bank robber. Neil is a murderer. He done got his friends killed. And now she in the house looking at him like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? Now, if that was some of you sisters, and Neil, you know, he had that long schlong for you, you wouldn't have been like her. You would have been still trying to fuck with Neil. You'd have been like, oh shit, this nigga is a oh my God. And you probably would have sucked his dick on the way to the airport. Okay? Because that's what's wrong with a lot of these sisters nowadays. Like, you know, they can't get over the bad boy. Well, that white lady in that movie, what she saw that made her try to claw her way up that damn hill and get the hell away from Neil was his fruit. Okay? In the movie Heat, the white lady was trying to get away from that fool Neil, the bank robber, the star, Robert De Niro, because of his fruit. Like, his fruit was not what it was supposed to be. It was death and destruction, and it was leading nowhere in her mind. Even though he told her that, you know, they was going to Sweden, New Zealand or whatever, you know, the fruit wasn't there. Okay, so that's what a lot of sisters and brothers nowadays is mixing up. You have to know what the fruit of somebody is. You know, like if you can't recognize what kind of fruit they bear, then you know, then it's best that you abstain from dealing with these people until you can recognize their fruit. You know, but back on the subject of good sex. and why you should not have sex for a while after you done had some extremely good sex. Okay? Because what happens after you have extremely good sex, it drives down your tolerance for sex. When you have a high tolerance, that means that you can have all the good sex in the world and it won't phase you at all. That's whole shit. You know, you can have bomb-ass sex. You can have multiple nuts, you know what I'm saying? And, come multiple times and it won't phase you. That's a high tolerance for sex. Okay, when you have a low tolerance for sex, that one person can come along and knock it out the park, or serve you something slurpy, and now all you want to do is have sex. Your mind is blue. You can't wait to get this person in the bed again. And then when that shit fall through, like, now you focused on good sex, like you looking for that next fix because your tolerance was low. You know what I'm saying? Like you had a low tolerance for good sex. You know what I'm saying? So now, where sex was, like I was saying, on page 4 or 5 in your mind, now it's on page 1. And that's what you're leading with. Whereas you keep on ending up in these positions with these narcissistic people, narcissists, sociopaths, because that's what they lead with. Even a narcissistic man, he's leading with sex by acting like he doesn't want to sleep with you. All right? He knows that you want to have sex because, most narcissistic men, they keep themselves together, or, they got them dollars for you or whatever. And he knows that you're going to try to get him with sex. But a narcissistic man, he needs control. So he's not going to try to touch you right away. It may be a long time before he tries to touch you, because what he's looking for is control. All right? So he can't get control of that situation if you don't respect him on a certain level. And that's what narcissistic men know. When narcissistic women, in reverse, they are fucking your brains out. All right? They are doing it all. You know what I'm saying? You name it, they doing it. Because when they pick you, they know that the common man, sex is on the first or second page in his mind. So they gonna knock it out the park because they know that your spotlight is on sex. All right? And they need power from you by turning your ass out on them and making you addicted to them. So that's what a narcissistic woman is going to do. So the only time you should really be having really good bomb-ass sex is when you're in a relationship that's going somewhere. All right? If you done hooked up with somebody, you met them on the internet or whatever, and, you done got with them, hooked up with them, and then they just knocking that shit out every time. But in your mind, they're not the one for you. You need to step up off of that. Like, you need to back away from that. All right? You need to say, you know what? We're going to have to take a break for a while. And then just go ahead and get yourself together, get control of yourself, step away from sex, get sex out your mind. Don't do nothing sexual with yourself for a while. I would say like 2 months. If you can't go 2 months without sex, then you don't have control over your sexuality. And you are, a borderline a sex addict if you can't go at least 2 months without sex. Okay? So, and as far as the females go, when you didn't had a man that was, he was well endowed, he was hitting the back of that thing, you was getting the end of that thing every time he was running up in you. and you know that ain't no common thing for you, for you to be, you ain't never had no man that was well endowed like that. It's best for you to not have sex. If you and him didn't work out and he moved on, it's best for you to not have sex for at least 6 months. All right, that's what I'm telling you. It's best for you to not have sex for at least 6 months, because by that time, the memory of, that man with that big thing going up in you should be gone from your mind. And if you haven't had sex with nobody else, your vagina should go back to, by then definitely, it would go back to, what it was at normally. That way you can deal with, what the normal size man is, which is like, 6 to 7 inches, I think it is. I was reading some shit where they said a normal motherfucker was 5. I doubt that, because that's I doubt that. But they did say the normal female was only 3 to 7 inches deep. That's what I read. Y'all can Google it if you want to, but that's what I read. So, but yeah, you got to give your body and your mind time to get over that experience, of having, really, really good sex with somebody and your spirit. You might have, what they call a soul tie after you done had really good sex or a lot of sex with somebody that, you didn't end up marrying, so, you want to start out fresh with everybody that you get involved with, because the end result of a relationship should be a permanent relationship. Like, it shouldn't be, let's just go, from, one piece to the next. That's what animals do, and I mean, we human beings, we're supposed to be, on a higher level than animals, but there are some animal, some humans that live at like animals, but we gonna leave that to them. But what I was speaking on today is that a good practice on what to do after you done had some bomb-ass sex with somebody that didn't go nowhere. So, what having good sex does to, especially a woman, is it makes her a little too comfortable with this man. Like, say she, especially if she wasn't expecting the sex to be that good. Like, and then all of a sudden, like, the dude get in there and then he just demolished the coochie. She don't remember the last time she had that many orgasms. So now she's super comfortable with this man and his ways. And that's where the ties come in. When you have a soul tie with somebody, that means that you're accustomed to their ways and you're accustomed to how they do things and how they live life. And you take some of that with you in your life. All right? That's what it means to be tied in spirit like that. So, you want to get that off of you by just taking time away from relationships, period. If you in the prayer, if you're a church-going person, you want to definitely go get up under some of that, and try to erase that person from your spirit, because here's what the problem with that is. All right, there are people out here who are just naturally good at sex. All right. It's just like there are people that are naturally good at basketball. There are people who are naturally good at baseball. People who are naturally good at fixing cars. Okay, so there are people out here who are naturally good at sex. All right. It does not mean that they are naturally good at being married. or naturally good at relationships. It just means that they're naturally good at having sex. So the problem with that is when you run into one of these people, because you will run into one, you become attached. Especially if your heart is not guarded. Like if you have an unguarded heart, you can run into these folks that, are naturally good at sex, and then next thing you know, sex is on the first page in your mind. So, you want to break that tie by just abstaining, staying away from it for, I would recommend at least a couple of months. You ain't really doing nothing sexual. Like you trying to bring your tolerance back to a controllable level. Because most of the time, the person that you probably gonna end up with for the rest of your life, they're not gonna be good at sex every single time. Okay? They're not gonna be good at sex every single time. But they shouldn't have to be good at sex every single time, because you ain't with them solely for the sex. So why should then your tolerance be so, like low to where now every single thing that you do is based on sex. I was dating this one chick, right? Me and her was together for about a good 4 months. So, we used to have a good time with each other. We had went out, celebrated, hit a couple of wineries. We was kicking it, boy. It was summertime, big kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Big chilling, So, I was kind of tipsy off the wine, and then, by the time we had got back to her place, it was late. So, I'm tipsy and I'm kind of tired. So, I get in there and I put down the whack. I put down the wiggy. Her whole attitude towards me changed. Like, it went from, she was my, it went from, we had something working on something. We had something working on something. To all of a sudden, I don't even know, like, she went in the kitchen like she was getting ready to tell me to get the fuck out of her house. And it was just like, damn, so I went on and brought it up. I was like, hey, I'm going to make it up to you in the morning. I'm just tired. And she was like, oh, okay. I was just wondering because, that ain't you. I mean, like, I don't know what just happened, but that can't happen again. And then that's when I realized that, oh, okay. So it's just the sex with her. Like, yeah, she kicking it with me, hanging out with me. We talking big shit. Like we acting like we about to do it big. But the first time I passed out the wiki, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, she wanted me to get it. Really, that was like her whole attitude changed. It was just like, wait a minute. And this is after we have been exclusive with each other, as far as I know, for like 4 months at that time. I was never putting down the wiki. Never. I was always, I was always launching into outer space on her. We was always in orbit. When it came to sex. But at the same time, when I put down that wiki that one time, the whole shit changed. She was like another female in there standing in that kitchen. Trying to pour her a glass of wine and all that. And I'm coming in there, looking at her like, damn, should I get my shit and go? This is after 4 months. So you can tell when, somebody is only in it, because the sex is good. Which is, that's not that good. Now, what you got to do is you have to understand your tolerance level. Like, you have to understand what happens to you after sex. Like, you have to recognize that as a person so that you will know how to get down sexually. You can't do what everybody else is doing if everybody, you know, that, you know what I'm saying, put you in orbit, you fall in love with them. You know what I'm saying? Nah. You know what I'm saying? You can't get down with everybody sexually. It's just not, you know, sex is just not your thing. You know, if everybody, you know what I'm saying, that you have sex with put you in orbit, that's, you know what I'm saying, and then you fall in love, nah, that's, you know, you gotta back up away from the sex. You know, and then you really need to be looking for something like, if you must have sex, you really need to be looking for something that's more permanent, you know. But if you one of these, you know, one of these worldly people that can just have good sex with anybody, and it's just like going to the amusement park. Oh yeah, wow, oh that was great, and then you don't even really know nothing about it. This, you know, this particular video ain't for you. You know, because that part is that part, you got that part under control. You know, you know that's that you know, that's that whole shit that, you know, some of us really don't know nothing about. You know, and I mean, I can say I'm like that with some females, but I'm not like that with every female. You know, so I know that if one come along that I need to keep, I'm gonna keep her. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm gonna do. You know, but you know, keeping that tolerance, that sexual tolerance under control, it you know, it takes some work. You know, like it's not just something that, you know, you gonna be able to do if your tolerance was low anyway. You know, like if your tolerance is low, you're not just gonna be able to keep your, you know, your sexual your sex drive under control. You know, so, and you have to be realistic with yourself, and you have to understand that about yourself. Whereas, you know, somebody that has a very high tolerance for good sex, you know, they can just keep on going. And then, you know, you want to watch out for people like that too. All right, because if they are just, you know, you done seen that you know, y'all done got an hour in, and you know, y'all was in orbit like a motherfucker that whole hour. You know, it was just, y'all was just way up that whole hour, and then all of a sudden, you know, they get up talking about something, you know, they get up, they ain't, you know, they trying to figure out, you know, what's wrong with the TV. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, they immediately get on the fucking phone. You know, after you have good sex with a man or a woman, if they go straight for the phone, you know, I mean, you know, that's something that you know, you may want to watch out for. I ain't saying that it's something that you better leave alone, but it's definitely something that you know, you want to watch out. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't want nobody that's too clingy after sex either. You know, all of a sudden, you know, you want to go take a shit in the bathroom and she follow you in the bathroom while you getting ready to go take your after sex doo-doo. You know, like, you don't want that either. You know, and then you don't want to be to the point to where after you get ready to bounce and go do your thing, now all of a sudden, you know, you curious about what the rest of her day is gonna be like. You know, like, damn, I wonder where she going today. I wonder who she fucking with today after I leave. You know, hey, you know, you wasn't ready for that. You know, if that happened, it's a safe bet to say that you wasn't ready. Okay? But, moving on, you know, what needs to happen, after you've had bomb-ass sex that went nowhere, is you need to just sit back for a minute. You know, like, you need to just stop. Because that's what turns you into a sex addict for that person. And living in the, you know, in the Western world, you got a lot of narcissistic people. You know, and, you know, narcs, you know, these cats are the scum of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Where relationships are concerned. You know, they're the scum of the earth. You know, and if you develop a taste for them, your life will be a living hell because you have developed a taste for the narc. You know, you like that, you know, the love bombing and, you know, the if you're a man, you're gonna be in love with the love bombing and, you know, all the good sex, the you know, the endless head, you know, oh my gosh, she just doesn't stop sucking it, you know, all of that, you know, whatever hole you want to put it in. And if you're a female, you gonna fall for the, you know, oh, he's just such a gentleman. Like, no, he's not gonna try to sleep with me right now. He doesn't even want to sleep with me right now. He just wants to take me out and spend money on me. That's all he wants to do. You're gonna fall for that, you know, because, you know, ain't nobody else, you know, trying to do that. You know, all the other cats you run into, they trying to, you know, they trying to bend you over something real quick. And that's where the narcissistic man is able to acquire you at. Because he looks at you, and it's not that he doesn't want to have sex with you, but he's addicted to power and control, not necessarily sex. That's going to come later. All right, but right now, the narcissistic man is addicted to gaining power, and he can only get power over you if he has a large amount of respect from you. So he knows that the way to gain a woman's respect is to either act like you're a Christian man, you know, that doesn't want to have sex until marriage, or to, you know, always, you know, take the manly, you know, let me open the door for her. Let me make sure ain't nobody talking crazy to her. You know, play a very protective, providing role before he even touched the coochie. Okay? Now, he's already peeped you. Like, he's already peeped you. He knows that you're going to fall for that. A narcissistic man ain't trying to mess with no thigh. A narcissistic man ain't trying to mess with no, you know, ain't trying to mess with no gold digger. He's looking for a normal-minded woman. She's normal in every way. She might be good looking. She might not be good looking. You know, she might just be okay looking, or she might be fine as hell. But she has a normal disposition. Everything about her is normal. You are who the narcissistic man is looking for. Just like a narcissistic woman. All right? She is looking for the cream of the crop. You know, like, he's, you know, his money is up. You know, you know, he's attentive to women. Like, he respects women because his mama and them raised him to like put the woman first and all of that. That's who the narcissistic woman is looking for. You know, she's looking for that in a man. You know, so these are all the things that you want to watch out for, and this is what you want to do. You know, you want to abstain from any sex at all after you didn't have some sex that was too good, but yet the relationship didn't go nowhere. And that's my time for today. Thank you.